a summer, just me and you, driving around this town like we do. If I could tell you just how I feel, I'd be praying for nerves of steel.
Welcome to American Idol Unaired. I'm your host, Bennett Shear, back with another singer that you didn't see on season 21 of American Idol. Please welcome Liam Von Elbe.
What's up, guys? Dude, thanks for having me, man. Stoked.
I was just saying, heard a lot about you and cannot wait to hear about your experience.
Yeah, dude, it was it sounds really corny, but it was like honestly life-changing for me. It was something that I needed in my life to make me realize like, oh, okay, like maybe I can do this. And that's why I was excited to do this with you because I think there's a lot of people out there who like they just want to be aired so bad, which I get it. It is a bummer when you find out you're not going to get aired. Being a couple months out from the whole thing happening, like I've just reflected on it so much, and like I'm so grateful for the experience because I think if people who are watching this who are thinking about doing Idol, like go into it with a mindset of just networking and meeting some of your best friends you'll have the rest of your life. Don't get caught up too much about like wanting to get aired because it's just I think Idol doesn't really have a plan. I think they just kind of go with it, and like you know it's shocking sometimes to see the people who don't get aired because they're just so good. There's something about our group that was so special. Like I've watched Idol my whole life. Like we're all just so close, and like they're just some of my best friends, and like we're just all always trying to hang out and write music again, and yeah, I don't know. It's so weird to think back on it. Like it was just such a fun, for me personally, it was fun. I know a lot of people go on Idol and they're stressed out and they're shy, which I was at first for sure. But man, we had a blast. Like I would do it again. Maybe it was so fun.
I'm going to be honest with you. After all the interviews I did with season 20 contestants, everybody was saying, like, even the viewers were like, I don't know how the season 21 contestants are going to top the camaraderie and the bond that group had last year because they were so close. But I don't know. You guys either might have them topped or at least just as close because just hearing the stories from what I know I'm going to hear from you and just what I've heard already, and it's evident on social media among the entire cast, right? Even those that made it to the live shows, it's pretty cool and special because in such a short time you're meeting these people that you form probably lifelong connections with.
It's wild, man. It's really cool also to see like, again, I've watched Idol my whole life, and it's like, it's you know I enjoy watching it, but it is even my family like they haven't met. So like my sisters and stuff, they haven't met any of the contestants. They've just like kind of met them on FaceTime. But it's like watching Idol is so different now. Like you know, knowing the people that are on it, it's like I'm just so much more like into it and like excited for everybody and like, like dude, Ian Tongi, I think he's gonna win. Ian Tongi he's the man. I'm so excited for him.
Yeah,
Oliver Steele crushing it, dude. He's so good. Yeah, I don't know. There's some good ones this season, man. But like, I don't know. It's just hard to describe the group that we have. And you know, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, because I travel a lot for work, so like I had like a full week off, which is kind of rare. And so we all like booked a trip. People who like don't live in Nashville flew out and booked an Airbnb house, and basically for a week straight, we just had the most fun. We were writing songs. We were going out to pitch meeting and all just hanging out. And like, yeah, that's something like, you know, if people are thinking about doing Idol, like just have fun, make friends. And like, even after Idol, stay in touch, do writing camps. It was we wrote like 4 songs that I'm like really excited about in a week. And so like, for me, that's like insane because I'm new kind of to songwriting. And so like writing 4 songs in a week is like insane. And it takes me sometimes like months to write just one song. So like Idol definitely like lit a fire in me to like actually want to do music and realize like, oh, I do enjoy singing with people. Because before Idol, I literally like, I don't play shows. I never sang with people. So Idol is like what I needed to like open myself up to realize like, oh, like singing with other people and like having this like songwriter community is like just insane. It's like filling my heart up so full. It's amazing.
Were you expecting that kind of outcome going into it? Because the network and everything that you've gained, I don't know, going into
No,
solo
man.
competition if you.
No, not at all. Literally, like my mom came to Nashville, which was cool, and because I used to live here, so I have some friends, and yeah, when she flew into Nashville, we basically like dropped her stuff at the hotel and then instantly left to go get dinner with a buddy of mine. And after dinner, we got back to the hotel and we walked in, and in the lobby, like there was a bunch of people singing, and it sounded like the best choir I've ever heard in my entire life. We were like, what is going on? And mom was like, these are the Idol contestants. I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn. Like the first person I heard sing was Oliver Steele, and the
Oh,
second person I heard was McKinley Brown, and I was just like, what am I even doing here? Because they're so good. And then the first person I actually talked to was PK, Peyton Kyle. I love that guy. And yeah, it was cool, man. Everyone was just like vibing. Instantly, everyone was just vibing, and like we were just someone brought like a speaker and said like, so we had like a little PA system, and like they were just basically like, we had like a little concert in the lobby, and it was cool because the hotel was cool with it. But right off the bat, I was just like, whoa, there's some talent this year. Like this is gonna be intense. So I was instantly like nervous and scared, and like yeah, I didn't even want to sing. And so I was talking to PK, and I was like, man, I don't even want to sing, man. Like these people are so good. Like I was like, I don't really sing in front of people much. He's like, well, you got to get over that quick. Like you're on American Idol. I was like, dude, we were all hanging out. It was me, Will Baskin, McKinley, Vinny, I think Bailey. But we were all in a room just hanging out, and everyone was kind of like singing and like playing their audition song. And they're like, all right, Liam, you got to sing. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm so nervous. And then I sang, and everyone was stoked. I was like, oh, okay, this is a safe space. Like this is like, this isn't like what's the word I'm looking for? Like we're not like we weren't competing really. Like we were all supporting each other. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like oh man, he's really good. I don't want to like talk to him. It was like we all were just like all love, and I think it just made it that much more special. So like I said, I don't know, man. I think there's something really special about our group because I also keep up with Idol people. I enjoy Idol. And like, I pitch meeting a few weeks ago. I met Fritz Hager, which was cool. Like I love that guy. I think him and I are gonna write together, which I'm really stoked on. And then I played writer's block at Analog in Nashville a couple weeks ago, and Maddie Poppy was playing that same show, so I got to meet her, talk with her, and I really hope to write with her as well. So yeah, going into it, I was not expecting to. First of all, I wasn't expecting people to be so good. I was like, whoa. And I wasn't expecting people to be so nice and kind. And so it was great, man. And I was super nervous for my audition, honestly. But like, I'm sure people talk about it, but like, you really do just like, Idol is just like waiting. You just wait. You know what I mean? And so I think I waited for like 8 or 10 hours before I got into my audition. So at that point, I was just like tired, and I was like, I think my nerves were just gone because I was like, I just want to get this over with so I can go back to the hotel and play songs with my friends. Like that was the most fun about Idol, honestly, was like when we weren't filming, like we were all just at the hotel getting to know each other, singing songs. Like that was the most fun part. So like I was like, I just want to get this over with and go back to the hotel. And so yeah, I don't know. I went to audition, and surprisingly, man, it went really well. I sang pretty good and got 3 yeses. And Katy Perry was like mad at me, kind of actually, because she, and we could talk about my story too, but she was just like, because I turned 28 in a couple days, and she was like, "Why are you just now doing this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I mean, scary, obviously, but also my career to me is like super important, and I just never really put myself out there." So she was like, "You need to stop touring. You need to like do this." And I was like, "Okay, you're right." Which obviously I'm still touring. You got to work and make money. But when I'm home 2 days a week. So when I'm home, I'm just like, I'm writing, I'm in the studio, I'm trying to go to pitch meeting, I'm trying to play shows. So anytime I'm not working, I'm trying to put in the work to do some music stuff.
I believe, if I'm correct, you're an audio engineer with Paramore.
Currently I'm out with Taylor Swift, as one of her stage managers. But yeah, I've been touring for almost 10 years, I think now. And been lucky enough to work with a lot of artists. And yeah, it's really weird, man. It's like I've been singing since I was in high school, and it's just it's like one of my favorite things to do, but it's just a very weird, vulnerable thing, and so it took me a long time, really just until a few months ago, to warm up to it, to actually like now I enjoy going out and singing and stuff like that, which feels really good. But yeah, for a long time I worked as I run live sound, whether that's running audio for the artist, or setting up the speakers, or making all the gear on the stage work, all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing that a long time, and I worked Katy Perry about I think it was like 6 months before Idol. I actually made the decision to do Idol before I even got the call to go work for her, and I was like, oh, this could be interesting. So obviously I didn't say anything, but yeah, I went and worked for her for a few months, and it was super fun. She's amazing. Like, honestly, one of the nicest artists I've ever worked with. She's super kind. Yeah, so that was cool. And then, like, I told some of the crew guys, obviously, and then they were stoked. And then after my audition, they were all just like really stoked about it. But apparently, in the audition, she didn't recognize me at first. And then Luke was like, "So, like, you're a touring guy. Who have you worked with?" And I was like, "Oh, I've actually, like, recently got to work with Katy Perry right here." And she was like, "Wait, what?" Blah, blah. And then I told her the story, and she's like, "Oh my God, I do remember you." I was like, "Yeah, how you doing?" And she's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I've been wanting to do the show for a long time." She's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "I don't. It's not something that you do." You know what I mean? So yeah, it was really cool to. I think it's really cool because there's a lot of crew people out there who are super talented, whether they sing or play guitar or drums or whatever, that you just never know, because as a crew person, like, you're just there to do your job. You're not there to be like, "Hey, I play music too." So it was really cool moment for me to, like, obviously be able to sing for Luke, Lionel, and Katie, but to sing for an artist that I got to work with and get to know a little bit, that was really cool. So that's why she was like mad. She's like, "Why? You shouldn't be working for me. You should be doing your own thing." So yeah, that was really cool. The audition went great. Katie was super stoked. Lionel was stoked. Yeah, man, I would maybe do it again, honestly, just because it was fun, but it's tough with my job because, so yeah, currently I'm on tour with Taylor Swift, and trying to, do music in the downtime. So
Couple thoughts. What do you learn from being with other artists? I mean, first of all, I want to mention, I know you had the opportunity to go on stage because Haley gave you that thing where they were like, Liam's going to be on American Idol, so you did get to perform. But even just when you are working backstage, I mean,
yeah.
wearing so many different hats, what do you learn as the artist?
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, until Idol, I never really considered myself an artist. I just, like, sing for fun, you know what I mean? Because I enjoy music. Now I don't know why it feels weird to say like I'm an artist, but I still don't really know if I feel that way. I just like to sing and play songs, but yeah, you honestly, man, I feel grateful for it because I feel like I've got to see a side of the music industry that not a lot of people get to see, which being an artist is really tough. Touring is exhausting. And like, it really is. It's really, really exhausting. And so, like, being an artist is tough because it's just constant go, 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 constant travel. There's just a lot of demand. I feel grateful that I get to see that side of it because I really understand some of the pain and struggles that artists go through, but also at the same time, I think that my favorite artists are the ones that are just absolutely massive, but they're still amazing people. Like, Katy Perry was super kind to everybody. She's amazing. Paramore was like one of the nicest bands I ever worked for. Again, like, the fact that they let me go up on their stage and sing a song was just like, no one does that. Like, that's so cool, man. And I try to tell them, like, I can't even explain in words like how special that was for me. Like, I've never really sang. In those 4,000 people, the most people I've sang for was like, I don't know, 15 or 20 people at a campfire or something like that. So, like, for me, that was really, like, special. But yeah, it's like, it's so cool to see artists that are really big that still have a good head on their shoulders, because I think it's really important to, like, as an artist, like, don't get lost in the whole, like, fame thing or everything like that. It's like, you got to stay humble and grateful and realize, like, it is a very tiring and exhausting gig, but, like, at the same time, like, your job is to, like, sing and play music for people. And sometimes make a lot of money doing it. So, like, when you stay humble and stay grateful, like, I feel like it's the best job in the world. But when it gets to your head, it can be pretty rough. So there's been some artists that I've worked for that I'm like, oh, like, I don't ever want to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, because I think they've lost sight of like what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, my whole thing with it is like realize that like none of this is actually that important. Like, you know, we're not saving lives out here. Like, it's like you're just going up on stage and singing songs. Like, it's cool, but it's like it's not the end of the world if things aren't perfect or like you didn't sing good that night, or you know, there's a lot of times where gear messes up. So sometimes gear fails at shows and artists get really mad, and like I get it, but also it's like my favorite artist, especially Paramore, it's like, you know, sometimes like her ears will fall out or whatever. And it's like, she's so cool about it, of like, you know, our monitor guy going out there and fixing it. And it's like, it's really cool to see that side of the industry, because I think not a lot of people get to see it or understand it. So been lucky enough to make some relationships with some great artists, and just like very grateful for it. But now I'm trying to actually slow down on touring and work a little bit to work on my own music, because touring takes up a lot of my time. So really trying to cut back a little bit. Some of my favorite people to work with and tour with, and Taylor is also like amazing. She's one of them that's like, she's obviously absolutely massive, and she's kind to everybody, which is like, it's really refreshing to work for someone who is just absolutely huge, but treats everyone with respect, and she's really kind and cool. And so had to say yes to that. But the 2 days a week that I am home, cramming in music and writing songs, and trying to hang out with my idol people as much as I can, because it's like, oh, I just love them, dude. Like, wait, yeah, let me shout out. Like, Will Vaskin is the man. Kinley Brown, she's like my sister. I love her. Vinny, PK, Oliver, Ian Tongi, Michael Williams is a hot guy. He's like the hot guy of American Idol. He's like, he's the heartthrob. Nate Peck, oh god, he's so good. Man, there's so many people. I feel like I'm blanking right now. Philip Kane, dude. Oh my god, one of the best country voices I've ever heard in my life. Dylan Holmes, Kay Lease, John Wayne, god, crazy country guy. Cameron, Avery. I mean, I could go on and on, dude. I love all these people so much, and like, like I said, it sounds really corny, but like Idol really changed my life. It's the change I needed in my life to like realize certain things about myself and what I wanted. And I was living in California before Idol, and I love California, but I just felt kind of lost there. Like, it's beautiful, but I didn't have a community or really a lot of friends. And so Idol made me realize, like, what am I doing? I got to move back to Nashville. Like that's where my people are at. And so ever since moving back, I just like, the joy I feel is like crazy. It's like a weight lifted off my shoulders. It's like, this is where I'm supposed to be. These are the kind of friends I'm supposed to have, the community I'm supposed to have. If I can say anything about Idol, man, like, don't go into it with too much expectation. Like, just enjoy the ride, and like, network, make friends, don't be shy, get out of your comfort zone, because it literally like changed my life, honestly. Don't go into the show acting like this is all I have. This is like I have to make this, I have to do this. Like, if I don't get air, like, my life's over type of thing. Like, go into it and just have fun, because I feel like if you do that, like, your experience in Idol will be actually really, really fun. If anyone who like listens and hasn't done Idol yet or is thinking about it, like, just do it. Like, for real. I thought about doing it for years and I just never did. And then I was like, my friend was like, just do it. Like, take off from work and do it. Like, I actually had to miss 2 Paramore shows because I had to go do Idol. And they were super cool that I just got a replacement. And yeah, they let me sing on stage, and like, they were keeping up with me. And when they found out I got cut, they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, you know, that's another thing you talk about is like, man, I sang Dreams by Fleetwood Mac at the Paramore show, and it went great. And then I sang that same song from my Hollywood Week song, and I just kind of butchered it. I got in my head. I was kind of nervous, and I don't know, the sound on stage kind of, I just like everything. I just got in my head, and I just kind of sang pretty bad. And so like, at the end of my performance, I just like, oh yeah, I'm going home for sure. I'm going home. So when I got cut, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I was pretty bummed, honestly. And I feel like I definitely could have made it farther, but I got in my head. So that's another thing. It's like, it's hard not to, because it feels really like intense, especially when you get to Hollywood Week. Like, it's intense, you know, it's a real deal. And for me, especially, like, I haven't really sang on stages before. And so like the audition is way different than Hollywood Week. The Hollywood Week is like you're on a real stage, you got cameras all around you, like the judges are right in front of you, you got crew guys, like everything is on a schedule, so like it's like boom, boom, boom. So it's kind of intense, and I don't think I was ready for it. But now I feel like if I went back, I would be definitely ready for it. So yeah, Hollywood Week for me, performance wise, was not the best, but I had a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of jam. Like yeah, Ian Thongi, me and him, we jammed out a lot. Me and Oliver jammed out a lot. And what's cool too about like if you do what is nice actually about getting the golden ticket is getting to meet all the other Idol people from different cities. Like, you know, my main friend group is definitely people from our Nashville auditions, but I also made a lot of friends that I met in Hollywood Week. Yeah, the first time I heard Ian Tongi, dude, I was like, oh, this guy, he's something special, man. He really is. Like, his soul is so pure, and like his voice, and like he's just the nicest dude. I'm so excited to watch everybody. It's gonna be a crazy season, dude. Last episode, my heart was like ripped out of my chest seeing some certain people go home, but like the talent's too good this year, so it was a good experience for me. I'm not butthurt at all that I didn't get aired. I get it, you know, it's a reality TV show. There's too many good people, so I get it. It's like it's really hard for like seriously, like there's still so many other people that I've met that didn't get aired that are like so good. Like my buddy like Colton, man, I forget his sorry,
Glover?
Colton. I think it's Glover. Sorry, Colton. I forget your last. I mixed you up with the other. Yeah,
He's
Colton
the
Glover.
man. Love
Yeah,
Colton.
dude, he is the man, dude. I was talking to him last night. Oh, his voice is crazy, dude. He's got that like Tyler Childers type vibe, and he's just really good. So yeah, it's just like I'm not too bummed. I was at first, but like I realized, like, you know what? There's too many good people, so I get it. They can't air everybody.
What did you sing, by the way, for the audition?
Oh, I sang "Better Man" by James Morrison.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was good. It was a good song. And like I said, it went really well. I got 3 yeses, and they were all really stoked. And yeah, it's like weird thinking back on it. I'm like, damn, I don't know how I did that. Like, I always thought, like, man, if I walk into the audition room, I'm gonna like just fucking drop dead. You know what I mean? It's so nerve wracking. Like, but surprisingly, I don't know. I pushed through, and it went really well, and it was a really fun time, and it was cool to see Katie again, and also the piano player Fredley. I got to see him because we worked together on Katy Perry too. It's hard to put into words, but it literally was life changing.
And any alumni mentors that you got to work with in Hollywood Week? Because I know that they brought back some
Yeah.
contestants.
Yeah, my mentor in Hollywood Week was David Archuleta, which was
Cool.
cool. You know, when I walked in the room, I was like not expecting to see like an OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got to talk with him, which was really cool, and just kind of talk to him about like because my performance round, I chose the confidence category because that's something that I lack and still lacking. And so, you know, he gave me some tips on like what to do before stage, and he kind of taught me some affirmations in the mirror, and just it was cool, man. I got to sing in my song. I played him the video from the Paramore performance, and we talked about that, and you know, it was really cool. I mean, getting to sing for David Archuleta was really cool, but getting to talk with him about just, you know, touring. I think I'm trying to remember. I think we talked about touring and how it's tough, and just confidence is a really tough thing, especially on Idol, because, you know, it's really hard. It's really easy to get. I'm someone who gets in comparison land like way too often. Like even last night, like I saw. I saw all my friends play. Beck Bunner also someone from Idol, just absolute beast, man. She's like probably one of the best singers I've ever heard. She played a pitch meeting last night. And I met her friend Drew Irwin, who, I don't know, man, there's just some voices I hear that just like make me rethink everything I do. Like every time I hear him sing and perform, I'm like, okay, I have to rethink how I'm writing and how I portray and how I perform, because he's just that good. And so that happens on Idol too, you know. It's like you feel good about your performance or whatever, and then you see someone else perform and you're like, oh, okay, now I got to switch it up, because it's cool. It's like it's really inspiring, but it's really easy to get in comparison land. But I think it's a good thing. It makes you better.
Well, I'm telling you, I said this at the beginning. I told this to you before we started recording. You know, all the shout outs you're given and all the shout outs people give in other interviews, your name always comes up. I
Oh
mean,
man,
that's why I'm so excited to hear you sing, because just from hearing stuff on your page and checking you out beforehand, there's a reason that you were on that show. And like you said, sometimes they just have to make those cuts, but you know,
yeah,
there's a reason you do what you do, and I'm so excited to hear you sing. Before we hear you sing, I want
yeah.
to hear a little bit about Von Elb visuals. I'm kind of curious about that.
Oh, like my photography stuff? Yeah, no, I honestly don't do it much anymore. I really need to get back into it. But yeah, I mean, on the last Taylor Swift tour in 2018, we did the Taylor Swift Reputation tour, and a lot of the audio guys, like we all kind of were into photography and cameras and stuff like that. So that tour specific, I mean, I started photography back in, I think, 2016. I was on a country tour with Billy Currington, and the photographer kind of got a lot of us into cameras and photos. So from there I started, that's when I really started touring and traveling. So I was like, you know what, I'm traveling, I should document, like, you know, my travels. And so it kind of started there, and then I kind of grew a love for it. And but I think some of the best photos I've taken was definitely in 2018 on that tour, because we got to travel all over the world. We got to go to Australia and Japan and New Zealand, and you know, and we had a decent amount of time off, so we were just taking a ton of photos. And yeah, man, I really enjoyed, actually. It's funny you bring that up, because I was talking about it yesterday with my friend. I was talking about McKinley, because McKinley didn't know that I took photos, and so I showed her my website, and she loved them. I was like, yeah, I need to get back into it. But you know, I think a lot of us went through some crazy stuff in COVID. So during COVID, I kind of just stopped. I don't know, just stopped, because I wasn't traveling, so I stopped taking photos, and I didn't play as music. Yeah, I don't know. Ever since, I just haven't picked it back up. I think now my main focus is music, but I definitely do want to get back into photography, because it'd be cool actually to like take photos or like cover like album art or cover photos for like friends and stuff like that. So it's cool. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Well, you're multi-talented, my friend. You never know what you're gonna do next. It's exciting.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think the song I'm gonna play today is actually a original that I'm recording it right now, but it's gonna be my first single. Let's see, this is in tune. Okay, yeah, it's in tune. Cool. Yeah, this is Pushing 30, and this is a song that I wrote with Dennis Cook, who is this guy that I just adore, and he's an insane songwriter, really good at just telling them stories. So my first write was with him. We wrote this, and I think it's still the best song we've written so far. We've written like 4, but this one holds a special place in my heart. So this one's called Pushing 30.
Cool.
It was summer, just me and you, driving around this town like we do. If I could tell you just how I feel, I'd be praying for nerves of steel. It was summer with the radio on, until you loved you through that John Mayer song, dancing in the moonlight, stars are shining so bright. Who knew it'd be me and you to the John Mayer song. Pushing 30, getting old. All my friends are getting married. Oh, I'm just getting stoned, 'cause I'm lonely, oh so lonely. What I would give to find the one and only, the one and only. It was summer, and now I'm wondering, where did all the time go? Hear that song on the radio, now I'm wondering where you're at. Am I too far gone to get it back, to get it back, to get it back? Pushing 30, getting old. All my friends are getting married. Well, I'm just getting stoned, 'cause I'm lonely, oh so lonely, what I would give. I'm pushing 30 and getting old. All my friends are getting married, 'cause I'm just getting stoned. So lonely, oh so lonely, what I would give to find the one and only, oh, the one and only. 'Cause I'm pushing 30, oh, I'm pushing 30, 'cause I'm pushing 30. Oh, nice little squeal at the end there. Pushing 30. Oh man, yeah, that's it's pushing 30, and man, stoked on that song.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm debating. Do I have the words to even like express how good that is? Like, or do I just? Oh,
Thank you, dude. I messed up a couple times.
don't even. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that's a hit if I ever heard one. I mean, I don't know. I always am curious if that's like the mindset that artists are in, like trying to make a hit, because I mean, most importantly is the meaning and the words. And I'm also a huge melody guy, so the way that chorus hits, like it's crafted so beautifully and perfectly. So
I played at pitch meeting last night, and Eric, the guy who runs pitch meeting, he's so kind, and we sang that chorus like probably 8 times in a row. He got the whole crowd singing, and it was really, really cool.
yeah.
So yeah, love it. It's good tune.
Oh my God, Liam, man, it's just an honor to meet you. I'm glad we've connected. You're insane. You're such a kind man, such a talented man. You're so cool too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's cool that you're doing this, because there's a lot of people who I'm sure want to talk about their journey. So yeah, man. Like I said, I'm grateful, and it's cool that you get to talk with all these people, because they're just some of the nicest people in the world, man. It's wild, and they're so freaking talented. So yeah, dude, thanks for having me on, man. It's been fun. It's cool.
Thank you. Where can we follow? Stay tuned with everything.
I guess just follow me on Instagram. It's at Liam Von Elbe. Trying to post whenever I can. Just stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have Pushing 30. Hopefully I'll have that out as a single soon. My plan is to have an EP done by the end of the year. So I've been writing a lot of songs I'm really excited about, but then just have to make the time to record them. That's the tough part. So stay tuned for some music, man. I'm excited. Honestly, all the songs I've been writing have been with people from Idol. So really excited to release all the songs. They're extra special to me because they're songs that I wrote with people from Idol. So it's makes it that much cooler. So
awesome, man. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this conversation, if you've not already subscribed wherever you're listening or watching American Idol Unaired, please do so. Follow us, Instagram and TikTok, Idol Unaired Podcast. Liam, man, thank you so much for being a part of American Idol Unaired.
Yeah, dude, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.